Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lunnan.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees.
And before we get into the interview, here's your reminder to upgrade your summer hair. Get summer blonde with Wella Professional's Blonde Flex 9, the #1 salon lightener in the world based on the 2024 Professional Hair Color Global Market Brief Study for the bleach coloring subproduct type category published by Klein. Now upgraded with built-in metal purifier technology for unbeatable clean lift, instrumental test versus leading global competitors, and up to 97% less breakage. Blonde Flex 9 plus Blonde Flex 9 #2 versus Blonde Flex 9 alone. It's designed for maximum lift and helps protect your hair's strength so you can go brighter without compromise. Then lock it all in with Wella Professional's Ultimate Color, which delivers color vibrancy for up to 10 weeks with regular use of Ultimate Color regimen from salon to home and revitalized hair from the first wash. Shop Blonde Flex 9 and Ultimate Color today in-store or online at Cosmoprof.
All right, Jeff. So we've got you back, but you were gone for a while, and not necessarily physically, but audibly.
Indeed. Am I back? I don't
I
I don't
think by
think,
the end of
yeah.
this pod, you're going to be gone again. So,
Exactly. Yeah,
so Jeff
no.
was at Premiere
hmm
and Premiere Orlando, of course, in Naha, and he sounded like someone from the crypt, or what is it? Like, I don't even know. Like,
No,
you just
intermittently
like couldn't.
like a Disney character, which is fitting because of what we ultimately did. A
Mm-hmm.
Muppet, a
Oh,
dead
a
person,
Muppet.
all sorts of different things were happening with my voice. And people that are listening to this pod that saw me in person know this for a fact because I attempted to talk to you in person. And sometimes through an interpreter. Shout out to Kylie on our team. It was not
That's
great for
insane.
me, but I had the best time. And this is what is so frustrating about losing your voice.
Mm,
I feel fine. Like I
yeah,
don't feel
but
unwell. I don't feel sick.
yeah.
Sounds awful for everybody else. It's a miserable experience,
And
but
it's
not for
kind of
me.
like sketch. You're like, ugh, I don't want to be near you
Yeah,
because you
you're
sound so
you're
bad.
not well. And I'm like, but
You
I
are
am,
unwell.
but I'm possibly contagious. Oh, see, well, someone, another our troopers, others on the team similarly
Yeah, they
afflicted.
got hit too. So we're not going
Yeah,
to say you started it, but you started it.
but
And
but I
then,
might be patient zero. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the amount of kindness that I was shown, though, I'll just say, like, I'm going to shout out some people, strangers and friends alike, who furnished me with
cough
ginger treats,
drops,
cough drops.
ginger,
There
warm
was
water,
there was someone.
lemon.
So let me get to, I mean, at Premiere Orlando, if you missed it, and I hope you didn't, but if you did, I mean, we had an enormous booth right next to the main stage in which
Yes.
we were doing headshots for the days of the show, as well as giving out printed volume through, which I'll get to in a second. Someone literally fished the cough drops out of their bag, and we're like,
Yeah.
here,
Oh, isn't
you
that
need
sweet?
this. It was very
You
sweet.
need this more than the bottom of my bag. It's been here for
Yes,
2 years, but
yes.
like,
They were
dude, you're going down.
generic branded, very unclear whether or not they were safe to
An
consume. But
actual
did I
cough
take
drop.
them? I
You
sure
did.
did.
You
Because
weren't
in
gonna
times of
let.
desperation, no.
Mm-mm.
I was like, well, maybe this one will do the trick, and I'll have a little bit of, and then it would be like, yeah. Anyway,
No.
yeah. So
Anyway, you did that
yeah,
thing. We were big and
we did that.
popular. We were
Mm-hmm.
her. So
Mm-hmm.
we like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, no, it
And
was
congrats
incredible to
to all
see
the Naha
everybody.
winners. Our
Yes, the
favorite,
Naha
Morel.
red carpet was a blast. We saw
Yeah.
Morel, got to connect with her before she won her award, and that speech was so touching. So
She's a
shout out to
doll.
her, and there were a number of others. We got to meet Derek Robinson, who, if you've seen our
Mm.
social media, winner for Student Hairstylist of the Year, is a star, a
Love,
star. In
love.
our interview,
So
we had a
good.
great time, and then he literally danced across the stage. And I love that for him. Knowing him very
I did too.
briefly, it tracks. So,
It
no, a
tracked.
great
I
time
love
was
it.
had. And then, yeah, we
Oh,
also revealed Printed
yeah.
Volume 3,
Little
which
something.
a little something that we cooked up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with Miranda Ray on the cover in her finest pink rainbow hair with tinsel, etc. by the Maggie Perry. People were freaking out when they were walking by,
Yes.
being like,
Yeah.
"Who's that? What?" So that was a lot of fun to sort of see the reaction in real time. Because yeah, it's like months of work, and now
Yeah.
it's out
And
in the
we like
world.
that. We like the little pro slash consumer crossover, right? With our TikTok star on the front, but yet
hmm
grounded in the essence of Maggie
hmm
MH, because she's just a little firecracker. Love her. Love her
hmm
work. She's
hmm
awesome. So
As
yeah,
do many people in that
I
room,
mean,
as it turns out.
yeah, turns out. Turns out we're not the only one. So anyway, two biggies, Premiere printed volume 3. Our third
Hmm.
baby is out into the wilds. And
Hmm.
so let us know if you want one. Where can we get them, Jeff?
At thetease.com. You could either do thetease.com or printed by thetease.com, and you can get access to the digital version as well as sign up for us to ship to you. So go ahead and do that because you want to get
You
into
want
this
it in
one.
your hands.
It's the
Yeah.
color issue. I mean, so it's
Print is
so
back.
vibrant. It's print is back, and this one in particular is one to savor over. We've got so many different hair colorists across the spectrum in terms of expertise. It just celebrity to extension specialist, like just really running the gamut. Beautiful features. You're also in printed,
Eep.
giving some advice, which we love. Yeah, no, it's this one was if you're late to the printed party, get into this one.
Get into it.
All right, let's do something standard, shall we? We'll get into obsessed or over it. These are things that we're gonna react to. We're going to react to products, services, and trends and decide if they're hit or a miss. We'll break down what's worth hype and what isn't, giving you our honest takes along the way. Follow along by checking out the show notes or going to our Instagram stories so you can see what the hell we're talking about. This one I love. Posting your cute headshots. So if you went to Premiere and you
Yeah.
got your photo taken by our team, please, for the love of God, post it. We want to see them. So this is a link to someone that I'm obsessed. I'm jumping the gun. We're obsessed with this duo, Zoe and Lauren, with an incredible handle, the Hillbilly Hair Painter. I'm obsessed with that. They took a really, really, really fun photo. They took a series of photos, but they posted one in which one is holding the other, and I'm
Like
obsessed. And
jumped
so,
into the arms. And I
yes,
think that
yes,
just, I mean, if you're like those two are going to go to a show and educate, like they seem real fun. So
they
I
do,
think you
they
post
do.
away, post those
Yeah.
headshots. They were beautiful.
They were beautiful. So I'm obsessed. And thank you guys for posting and tagging and all of those things. And again, if you've not, consider it. Show them off. You look great, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
The lighting was fantastic.
It really chef's
Like
kiss. Aubrey. Yep,
literally
I know. Yep.
perfect.
We
Yeah.
we did some tests and it worked out. Up for a trade show. I feel
Hmm.
like we did our damn thing.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're both obsessed with that.
Yes.
Next, doing what you have to do for the content.
Hmm. I mean, I'm obsessed with somebody doing that for me.
So in this in this video, we're watching friends, coworkers, helping each other out. So somebody's holding a phone while someone is applying color in a bowl, and I love that for them. This reminds me, so I didn't say it, but I'll say it now. After premiere, and this is not at all, I
Hmm.
did not have a voice before we went,
Yeah. So
but
you didn't catch it there. It
no, no, no. But we did go to Disney
others
World.
caught it.
Others caught it possibly for me. We did go to Disney World as a team. I think people might have seen this on social media.
Uh-huh.
And I saw myself, someone on our team, using another person in a similar fashion to get content.
What was
Um,
the content?
the content was unboxing content. It is
Okay.
not ripe for the
Oh,
tease. I don't think it's the same. It's not the
okay.
right demo. But I will say that this is a thing that people do where they put things on people's bodies, cameras, it's
Yeah.
specifically to
Get the
balance,
shot.
etc. To get the shot. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm obsessed with this too. The ingenuity, the like resourcefulness to get that angle. Like this is
Yep.
genius. And if this were my stylist, I would applaud it. What about you?
Same. Totally applaud it. I love it. I never thought about like that bull shot. Like you can't hold the camera
That's
and do
true.
that,
And
but
do one-handed.
she's got somebody around sort of hugging her with the right by her kind of clavicle, if you will, and looking directly at
So
the
I'll tell
hair
you
in
where
the
this would have
bowl.
come in
So,
handy. I myself was capturing content at the Coat salon centric booth at Premiere Orlando,
okay.
and I was solo because I was walking around. I didn't expect to see it,
Hmm.
and I went to go and pick up the bottle, and I could not open it and also record at the same
Hmm.
time. So I could
Yes.
have used a friend,
Correct.
is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And just really quickly, the person that I'm mentioning on the team did put a phone inside of a dress in order to capture. There were consenting adults. It was very funny.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
I can't wait to see
yeah.
it, but it's not good for the teeth. It's not.
I
Okay.
I
So,
think I mean it's not that it's not safe for work. It's just not the right piece of
okay.
content. But we'll send it your way. So we're
Thank you.
obsessed with this one too. Two for
Yes, we are.
three. This is pretty
Two for
good.
three.
All right. Last but definitely not least, we got the topic is trusting is trusting your stylist. I trust you.
Of
The
course,
trust.
I'm
And
obsessed
yeah,
with
no.
this.
Yeah,
We
same.
have to be. And I trust my stylist with anything. I'm just like, just go ahead and do whatever. I say that. Like, should it
Do
be
you
this?
really?
Should it be that? I do. Like from a color
Mm.
perspective, do I need a
Oh,
little
yeah.
shine up, a little brighten? And then she's like, well, you need a treatment. I was like, do that. You needed
Do
this,
it.
do that too.
I'm ready for it. Say
So
less, girl.
I'm full
Go.
trust, but I think it takes time to get that trust, right?
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily always have that trust with my pros. But that's my fault. That's my problem. So I'm obsessed that you're obsessed with it. I'd like to be here one day with someone.
I think you can get there. Let's make that a goal.
I,
I'll manifest it for you.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that for me, please.
I shall. So we're obsessed with all three. All right.
Yeah, boom.
Today on Volume Up at the Tees, we're joined by Dusty Schlabach. Dusty, better known as Curl Vision, is a renowned curl specialist, educator, and entrepreneur with more than 2 million social media followers. With over 20 years of experience, he has built a global ecosystem for curly hair through platforms like Curl Vision, Curl Maps, and therapy, helping both stylists and clients embrace and care for natural texture. As the founder of Curly Hair Salon, he continues to innovate the curl industry by making expert curly hair services more accessible and more affordable. Can't wait to get into this one with him. I'm certainly built a massive following, right?
I mean, huge. This was such a treat. I mean, who doesn't follow him? You
I
know?
know.
So
I think
like I
we
feel
all
like I
do.
already knew him, and then getting to chat with him for an hour was like such a treat. I actually saw him at Premiere Orlando, and we're
Oh,
trying to
to speak with him. Yes.
well, speak with, yes, obviously. We've got on our team someone with incredible curly hair, and wouldn't it be fun if she
Yes.
could get a haircut? So, we'll see. We'll see. There might be some
Yes.
more content coming
Okay.
from
Like that.
us and Curl Vision.
I love it. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Breathe the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
But before we get there, let's talk tease beauty news, shall we? First up, we've got why Martino Cartier is gushing over Gamma Professional's spherical Xfera hairdryer.
Mm,
Conversations around ergonomics and career longevity are becoming increasingly commonplace, with
yeah.
many salon professionals rethinking the physical strain created by working behind the chair. Gamma Professional, a global leader in professional hair tools, created the Xfera hairdryer to address this challenge head on. The Xfera's innovative spherical dryer features an ultra lightweight design engineered to eliminate the traditional handle associated with hair dryers,
Yeah.
allowing stylists to hold and maneuver it within the palm of their hand for greater precision, reduced wrist strain, and enhanced control. Martino Cartier, celebrity hairstylist, educator, and award-winning salon owner, says the spherical Xfera hairdryer represents a major shift in how professional
Hmm.
stylists approach blow drying. Head to thetease.com to learn more about the dryer and why Martino is so obsessed. Have you seen this dryer?
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what it looks
have.
like? Like
It's
it looks
wild. It's
crazy.
like holding kind of like, well, it's a sphere. So like
Yes.
a ball in your hand and drying, right? So I can see where like from the carpal tunnel perspective, and clearly I'm no medical expert, but like this is a totally different grip and grab. And so I'm curious to see how this domino affects in the industry.
I mean, what is so interesting is like once people get their like literal hands on it, they're
Yeah.
freaking out about it and they're
Yeah.
like posting, they're obsessed, they whatever. But performance wise, like I think what is interesting is like people are not only surprised about the general concept and its
Yeah.
design, but the functionality and the performance. So I'm really excited to see how well similarly this does take off because I think it might. Like this is definitely a game changer.
Love a category disruptor.
Yep.
Love a handle disruptor. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like you don't think of, I mean, you do, of course you think about it, but why have a
Disrupting
handle at all?
part of the tool versus the whole category, right?
Hmm.
Just changing
Hmm.
the whole. So, all right. How Ebony Frausto created every Cat's Eye look at the 2026 AMAs. Cat's Eye took the stage at the American Music Awards and came to compete on every level. The group was nominated for 3 awards, including Best New Artist, Best Music Video for Gnarly, and Breakthrough Pop Artist. Their hair, styled by celebrity stylist Ebony Frausto and Powered by Matrix, was just as polished as their performance. Head to thetease.com for the full breakdown of every look, plus the hero products that showed up for the 5 girls. All right, Jeff, did you have a favorite of all of the looks? I mean, I did.
Oh, wait, who's yours? I want to know yours.
I mean, mine was Megan's
Mm,
because I mean it's a brunette, right?
hmm.
But then
Hmm.
there's shadowing or kind of stripes. It almost looked like the sun was coming through a pane glass window, like
Hmm.
onto a reflection. And so I think the placement of that is beautiful and really cool.
Oh, I mean, that's a solid pick. That
Yeah.
I love this look on her. I think my favorite might be Yoon Che.
Okay.
I love this blonde moment on her. Like I just think it's
Yeah, it's
so
beautiful.
good. And it
Yes.
also like looks nicely hydrated. Like it doesn't look thirsty. I mean, sometimes when
Yeah.
you go through like a big
Okay.
ass trend, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, especially because she was so
First, yeah.
dark to start. But it doesn't look thirsty. So like I'm kind of applauding that with the styling too, because like obviously he put work to her hair to get that
Yeah.
texture and the shape and all of. So I think that that's probably my favorite of the styles. Normally I wouldn't go in that direction, but I really like it.
All right.
Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetease.com. As always, we've got top stories that you need to know about as well. This one, I think everybody saw on the internet. And if you didn't, like, are you online at all? Let's do a wellness check. And it is that Chris Appleton and Britney Spears have collabed. You
Yeah.
and I have long talked about, wouldn't it be great if someone, a dear professional,
Assisted.
could
Yeah. Hmm.
get on in there and address what we've got going on. And
Yes.
it looks like from a photo that Chris Appleton, celebrity stylist, who we all know with his association to the Kardashians, and the Kardashians have reportedly become increasingly involved with Britney and her recovery, etc. And so like this linkage maybe not fully unexpected.
Hmm.
He got his hands in hair, gave her what appears to be a sort of sleek blowout situation. Or did he? And this is why I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the controversy that in fact maybe this is all AI and that the photo is a
No.
deep fake?
Oh no. And then everybody's
There
covering
is
it?
there is a corner of the
Oh.
internet that is deeply invested in that this is not Britney at all, that there's some fuckery afoot, and
Wow.
there's like freckles that are not in the right place, all sorts of stuff.
I mean, Chris, let us know.
Yeah, Chris, do you want to clear it up for us? You want to get in touch directly? I'm gonna go on the record and say that I think that it is Britney. It's just maybe not the
Yeah.
best lighting,
Well, and
which
I'm sure
makes
I mean,
sense.
maybe
She's in
she's
motion
just,
constantly,
she's
seemingly,
in
you know?
motion.
Like
Yes. And
just
maybe she just, I mean, not full
dancing.
glammed. Like, it's
Yeah.
just,
Right. And
can
so
we
we
just
snapped a
leave her
pic.
alone? Can we just leave
Well,
Brittany alone?
but also fix her hair. But leave her alone, but fix
Oh,
her
right
hair.
there. Yeah. Well,
But
he did fix her
but
hair. And then now leave her
he
alone.
did. Now, yes, yes, we didn't need the photo proof necessarily. I mean,
No.
when you look back to like
Oh, my.
2004,
Oh,
Britney,
the
like,
good old
God
days.
damn,
The
those,
snake at the
yeah,
VMAs. Like, are
yeah.
you serious right now?
I mean, just like
Flawless.
yeah, so good.
Just.
We didn't know how
But
good
I
we had
mean,
it.
we didn't. And I don't like how it ended, to be honest. Can I not say that? I didn't. I
I
wanted
think
it to be a
you,
rise. I wanted it to stay.
yeah.
I didn't want it to
And you
collapse
know,
and do the
there's still
things.
time.
Yeah, there's time.
It
Come
seems like
back.
again, yeah, things are
Come back to
positively
us.
working towards, you know, the road to recovery is not without
I
its bumps and
know.
whatever. So anyway, we're
Just
pulling for her always, always.
always,
But yeah, Chris, if
always.
you could hop on the horn really quick and just clear it up, let us know.
We need to know.
I'm assuming she's real. She's real. It's not AI, right? You wouldn't post AI.
He's not doing that.
Again, I'm not
We
alleging
believe in
anything. It's
you.
being
We're not doing that.
said online. We're simply stating what is being said.
Yes. Okay, next up, I love Off Campus, the show. If you're not watching
Do
that,
you,
we should
do
probably
you
do a
ever?
check, like a
I'm
life
not caught
check,
up
like
yet.
a
I'm not. I've
golly.
been doing things these past couple of days when
Yeah,
I could
you've been
have
busy.
otherwise been binging a show. But I know everybody's talking about it, yourself included. So
Yeah.
what do you got for me?
So this is from Elite Daily, and um, there's a lot of talk about the hair. So the hairstylist breaks down why Allie is a brunette on the show because in the book she's a blonde. And let me just tell you, I didn't read the book. Don't plan on reading the
It
book.
doesn't matter to you at
So
all.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have even known.
Zero
But her
investment.
hair is so incredible and kind of like a wolf cut shag, beautiful loose beach curls with perfect highlights. And so,
Hmm.
I mean, we're breaking it all down. Deborah Wybe, the head of Off Campus's hair department, said that she wanted to lighten her hair with some highlights, but it didn't. They just didn't decide to do the full blonde makeover because they didn't think it would translate on screen. So I think this translates on screen and it's fantastic, and everyone should go watch it. It's basically like the Hallmark version of Heated Rivalry.
I don't know that that's Sure,
Okay.
sure.
That's
Yes.
how I explained it. I like explained it to my husband that
It's
way. I was
also
like,
not
it's
safe for work
like,
though, right? It's not.
no, I
No,
don't
it's
believe. So let me
fine.
think. I don't think it's okay
We're
for
being
work. And
told,
no, it's
or
not.
I was
I
gonna
don't think
okay,
it's
okay. So less Hallmark as it turns out.
it's got an edge to it. It's like the
Okay.
Hallmark, X-rated Hallmark
Okay.
division.
A
Did
channel
you
that does not
know
exist.
that exists? The X-rated Hallmark division movie. This is where it would be slated.
That's
Watch it
okay.
under that lens, okay?
Yes. Well, now I feel like that's a truer of what I
Yes,
understand
because
it to
there
be.
is full nudity. So yeah, it's not going on the
Decidedly
10 a,
not
10
stuff
a
of
the 10
Hallmark.
a.m.
Yeah, yeah,
Backed up
yeah.
with the Christmas
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, got it.
It's going to like
Yeah.
10 p.m.
Okay. All
Anyway.
right.
Let me know what you think,
Perfect.
everyone, of my description. Okay. Now let's head to our interview with Dusty.
Dusty Schlabach is a 20-year stylist empowering both curl specialists and the global hair community with an integrated ecosystem of resources, networks, and education that prioritize curly hair styling. Known to millions as Curl Vision, Dusty is the most influential curl specialist in the world, with over 2 million followers on social media. In building an entire ecosystem dedicated to curly hair with platforms like Curl Vision and Curl Maps, and destinations like Therapy, hair, you know the deal. He's on a mission to redefine what it means to take care of people and their natural curly hair by challenging industry norms and empowering people to embrace the beauty of their natural texture without compromise. Today, he specializes in dry curly cuts that embrace the hair's natural texture and are uniquely tailored for each client. From real curly civilians, as he calls them, to creators and more, like the Kalogeras Sisters, Dusty takes a people first approach to make people feel good and confident with the best version of their curly selves. In November 2025, he introduced the first to market salon concept that will forever change the access, cost, and experience for those with curly hair. An unperfected market that is set to reach $15.7 billion by 2031, with the flagship opening of Curly Hair Salon in Fullerton, California. In the 2,000 square foot salon, there will be something unexpected. No sinks, no hot tools, no product application, and absolutely no brand merchandising or transactions. The salon will immediately fill the gap in the market by providing excellent and efficient curly, wavy, and coily haircuts at an accessible price point, under $100, with experienced curly hair specialists and no wait list and under 60-minute appointments. Dusty, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
Great. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be chatting with you. We talked about this off pod. Curly haired person to curly hair master. This is particularly exciting for me. And I know that our audience is really going to be excited about this as well. If we could, Dusty, let's start at the beginning. You've been in this industry for, I don't want to date you, but for a minute.
Yeah.
What first drew
One
you to
way to
hair?
put it.
That's one way. We'll start
Uh,
there.
it was just so easy to change. It was just like so fun to play with. My friends and I used to chop up each other's hair. We were in a band.
Mm.
I used to cut my sister's hair, and then girlfriend's hair and stuff like that. It was just fun to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of the profession, did you think like experimenting with your friends and girlfriend that it would be what you did ultimately?
No.
Okay. All right. So
Uh,
how did it arrive as an
okay.
opportunity for you?
So it just so happened that one of the things that I got involved with was a credit card processing company that my friend had developed, and he wanted to bring me on to kind of help with sales and
Mhm.
some other things too. We were developing some other products, and it all turned out that everything was geared towards salon. So
Ah.
I started at one point, we had like 4,000 salons across the US. So I had a lot of relationships with a lot of stylists, even like locally, like where I lived, like I had gone into their salons. And so I just kind of like got more into that world, even though it was so indirect. It was like,
Mhm.
with on the money end, on the
Sure.
business end, so to speak. Um, so that was kind of like something that really kind of I learned a lot more, I guess,
Hmm.
about the industry.
Hmm.
And then when it came to like a point in time where some other stuff just wasn't really like panning out, that particular business, 2008 wiped out Square, kind of knocked out credit card processing for us.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I enjoy hair. So that kind of like is what really was the entry point, professionally
Wow.
speaking.
Wow. Wow. I would never have known that. Thank you
Yeah.
for walking us back through it. It's so, I mean, we say this often on the pod, like people come to beauty from all different
Right.
ways.
Yep.
And it's true, just like this. So in terms of what you are known for, which is curls and curly hair, how did you arrive at that specialty? Was this like something when you were talking about experimenting, like you had a proclivity towards, or like, what was your exposure to curly hair? Like, talk to me about how that became what is now your thing, if it were.
Yeah. So when I was playing around with hair unprofessionally, I didn't
Hmm.
realize that I was really doing anything different.
Okay.
Um, but in hindsight, like I didn't know you were supposed to wet it down. I didn't know how to round brush, so
Hmm.
I just cut the hair, and not a lot's changed. um, what started happening professionally was that you go to school, you do all the hours, and that's a whole story on its own that we could get into. But
Hmm.
when I started taking clients on, they would, they would, you get good at a blowout, you get good at, the stuff. And I would get a compliment, which was, or at least I thought it was one at the time, would be like, oh, I wish I could take you home with me. Like, I wish you could do this at home. Like, I
Hmm.
can never get my hair to look like this. So I would hear that over and over again. And then I started going, well, what do you do? I thought I'm okay at a blowout, but I figure like you live with this head of hair like every day,
Hmm.
like you got to know what you're doing with it. And most of the time they would be like nothing. Like they would try some stuff, and then they'd be like, oh, whatever, ponytail it
Too
or
hard.
whatever, flat
Yep.
iron it, like just like or I'm hitting dry bar, like whatever. And so I started to pose the possibility of them coming in, like, listen, why don't you rinse your hair before you come in, let it completely air dry. Don't do anything to it. Let me see what your hair looks like when you do absolutely nothing. And I started to get preface right there, like, oh, well, I'm pretty curly, I'm pretty wavy, or that's a mess, or like whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, let me see. Because in my mind, I was like, if I can make that look really good for you, in where you've done nothing, you can continue to do nothing and feel much better about it.
Mm.
So that's how they started to come in. And I saw real quick how many people did not have straight hair. It was like most people have at the very least a wave. Straight was like an anomaly. It was like, oh, your hair is actually straight. You're a unicorn. So it started to kind of be like something that I just was like, I was able to kind of go back to how I was originally approaching hair long before it was my profession.
It's so interesting that you bring this up. I mean, it's like learning it and then unlearning it. Going back to what you didn't know is often maybe better than the things that you do, and it's such an interesting sort of perspective. Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious about it's one thing to sort of finesse this space and really learn the craft and be well known for it. It is another thing to start a salon on your own, to go out in and be an entrepreneur. Why did you decide? What led you to to opening your own doors? I mean, therapy salon several years ago. Again, I'm not trying to date you.
Yeah.
It's been around
No.
successfully, but those early days, what was that like? Why did you do it?
That so my first salon was kind of like a necessity type situation. My girlfriend worked at the a particular salon
Hmm.
with a group of people. I was working in Echo Park at another salon, and their salon, the building got sold. They didn't find out about it until like the owner of the salon was not the owner of the building.
Of course not. Yep.
The owner of the salon did know about the sale, but didn't tell the stylist until like they had like six
Oh,
to 8 weeks to get out.
damn.
And my girlfriend was kind of like, shoot, like I share clients, like it's like it was a whole situation, like
Hmm.
where are we gonna go? So there was talk like, oh, maybe you come down to like the salon I was working at. It was really cool. Um, I was having a good time down there. Um, and she was like, what about like, the other people? Like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. It sucks that you'd have to start developing your clients over again. And then I was thinking about it and I kind of went back to, my days of like, doing credit card processing and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I was like, how hard can this be? So I started looking
Dangerous.
around, right? Found a really cool spot at like 3 a.m. one morning because we were looking, wasn't really finding, and I found a spot. It just so happened to be 5 minutes from from that location that they were currently at.
Mhm.
and looked at the lease, and I was like, I mean, not I don't know how many people know this, but it was kind of this really neat situation where we were able to live above it. So it
Oh,
had like two like a connected unit. Uh, so we moved in there and opened that salon on the bottom floor, and we had that place up and running in 4 weeks.
whoa.
It was crazy. That was June 1st, 2012, that we took our first clients in there.
Wild.
So it's
Wild.
kind of a necessity thing.
Okay. So needed to do it. And then you're doing it. You're doing it by yourself, with the teams. What was that like? What were the early days of running your own place?
So early on, it was a lot simpler.
Okay.
That whole team that Carmen had developed, like they developed together, they really just moved,
Mm,
and I was the new guy.
mm.
They had all been doing hair longer than me. There was they did specialize though, which was pretty cool. I did like that. They had their colorists and they had their cutters, and that was 4 people
Mm.
and altogether, not including me. And so I was kind of like the new person in their mix, which I was still kind of going back and forth to my other salon and then coming here because now this is like my salon. Um, and it was simple. It was a pretty easy model. They had their clientele, like I said, it was 5 minutes away from the last one. So they were able to keep all that. So I just kind of slowly started developing. We didn't even have a receptionist at the time because it was so simple. It was just kind of like, cool, check in, check out,
Yeah.
awesome. I'll see you later. And so it was chill. It was very, very chill. And then later, I mean, maybe I should stop there because you might have questions that work into it. Like, how did it turn into what it's turned into?
No, no.
I
I
could
mean,
get into that
let's
if you
do it.
want.
No, no. Let's get into it. I
Yeah,
mean, we're going to talk about specialties and all sorts of other things, but I
cool.
mean, like, yeah, let's follow this. So
That's
the
so all
evolution.
right.
How the hell? How did that work out?
So it started to be a thing that like, oh, Dusty can do curly hair.
Hmm.
And I enjoyed that anyways. Like I said, like far back, it's pretty deep roots, no pun intended. Um, in hair that's got any kind of texture to it. I had fun doing it. So it was kind of like you do, one right and you get that Yelp review or
Hmm.
that referral, you're going to get 10 more off of that. So it started to become like a thing. And then, my mind went all over the place. I was kind of like, how do I better the salon? Like, I wasn't so like, oh, I'm only going to do that. That didn't come yet. I really wanted to kind of like dial in the salon. I wanted the spot to be the spot. At that time, it wasn't necessarily for curls. So I started asking, the stylists that I work with, like, hey, if you were able to do one thing, because I was redoing a website
Hmm.
and I wanted to get into their bios and kind of
Yep.
like, for all that
Perfect.
stuff.
Perfect time.
Right. So for SEO purposes, all that stuff. So I started to kind of really find out. And I think they, for the first time, started to find out what their absolute preference is, what they enjoy the most, what they dislike. Because I
Mm.
was like, if I can bring in more clients to you, which ones do you want and which ones don't you want? And some people are like, honestly, like I cut and color, but I just hate cutting. So if I never had to cut again, that would be just like, oh my gosh, that's so good to know. So just kind of like finding out, then I was writing mine. And I was like, I love doing curly hair the most.
Mm.
So, in a little bit more words than that is what was in the bio. And then I started kind of like seeing like this was growing. This was growing a lot, like really, really fast. The salon started doing a lot better, just from like a professional standpoint, but I was the only person catering to curly hair.
Mm.
And I was like, I can't even handle this level of demand. Like, this is insane. Like, people were starting to have to wait way too long. I was taking like 9 to 12 clients at a time. I
Ooh,
was
damn.
going for it. It was a lot. Um, Crazy long days. I mean, I was okay at it, I guess. Um, I wanted to do it though. Like, I loved it. Like, it was a genuine passion. Anyways, so I started kind of like, hey, like I've got like, all these clients, like I'm happy to share that. Like, I don't need to be the only person. So I really started to get into it with the other stylists, like even the ones that just color, like, hey, like coloring curly hair is different in these ways.
Hmm.
Like, let's get into it. My other people that I cut with, I was like, hey, like, let me show you what I know. Here's some great classes that I've taken. I do it like this, blah, 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 blah. So we just kind of like dove into it. And then all of a sudden it was like we were not just the salon with the stylist that could do curly hair. We were the salon that could do curly hair, all of the above. And that was kind of like a mixed bag. Like we were the salon that could do everything. But
Hmm.
then if you're the salon that can also do curly hair, you're just the salon that's going to do curly hair because there won't be any other appointments available for
This is true.
anybody else. So that's kind of how that went. I would say, God, 2017 or 2018, maybe the beginning of that is when that first floor, I lived above it, was
Hmm.
insanity. We were trying to figure out, where to put people and whatnot. And then it was like, oh shoot, like I need more help. So then it was like, all right, we needed to expand into the second floor. So I had to move out, expand into
Hmm.
the third floor. Um, so started, hiring assistants and training, and just it's grown from spot five chairs to we've got 12 in there now.
Wow. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've alluded to it. I want to get into it though. This is really like the crux of it is that for so long, the beauty industry has failed people with curly hair, with really any texture. I mean, they're not necessarily taught to it. You were just talking about searching out education, things that you found to be. Talk to us about from your perspective. I mean, now being
Well,
in this position, like what are those failings,
I,
so we can
I
sort of
appreciate
identify
I appreciate you putting that so gently. Failed is an interesting
them.
word. I would say it's. I hope that this is okay to say. I think it's a lot more sinister than that. If I,
I'm with you, but I don't want to
all
put
right,
words in your mouth.
sure, I appreciate that too. Now, if I can make you hate things about yourself, I can sell you anything
Hmm.
that'll make that not so about you, as long as it's temporary. And that is a massive, massive moneymaker that is still completely effective today. Obviously, we're seeing that change finally, but that was kind of the thing that I really started to see, was that the beauty industry would target
Hmm.
curly hair people into thinking that they shouldn't have curly hair. And so here's the products to fix that. And what I started to realize as soon as I got people off of those products to get rid of it, get their hair genuinely healthy, not like, oh, I feel healthy. No, like
Hmm.
actually healthy, like to the definition in Webster's dictionary of what that word means, and get them to, even probably more importantly, mentally and like spiritually embrace what their genetics push out on top of their head and love it for that reason. You put those things two together, that person, and then obviously a halfway decent cut, they that person is never going to feel better about their hair, no matter what they do. It's like, oh, you could go get the perfect blowout from whoever does Kim Kardashian's hair. You're not going to feel like yourself. You
Yeah.
will, and I've seen that. I've seen that. I mean, with people super super close to me, that I have gotten their hair really, with us together, have gotten them healthy, gotten a good cut. They've learned about their hair, and then it's been forever since they flat ironed it, and then they're like, I'm going to straighten it. I miss that. And then they instantly regret it. They're like, oh my God, like, who am I? They go out that, and I'm sure that, they look great. They look fine,
Yeah.
but they get those pictures back and they're like, I don't even
Who's
feel
that?
like myself. And then they never do it again. Don't get me wrong. There's some people, again, that I know and love, that I call them my more high maintenance clients, that they love to enjoy both. And
Hmm.
that's fine, as long as they understand that the girl or the guy that takes care of their curls so much and would like are so purist about it and would never flat iron it, those curls are going to look one way. Where the
Hmm.
people that like to have fun both ways, I like to bleach it out, I like to curl it, I like to flat iron, I like to blow it out.
Hmm.
You can't expect your curls to look like that ever. Like, and as long as you are like, I'm okay with that. How good can they look while I'm doing this? And then you have to add a couple more high maintenance things to it. That's fine. But it's about like learning about those expectations. So for me, it's been a very interesting time, with brands and the lack
Hmm.
thereof, because I don't play well, with most brands, because I'm going to say it like it is, and I'm not going to sell something that you don't need ever. So I'm all about less is more, water is life, um, and if you don't need it, you're probably not going to hear it from me.
Is that Curl Vision? Talk to me. What is the sort of the MO of Curl Vision? How
Mm.
expansive is it? I mean, it's obviously a lens with which you're looking at the world, and it's also a community. It's a movement. But from you, what is it?
I hope it's super simple, honestly. I hope it's a mentality around curly hair is not a trend. It's is it even about curly hair? It's about healthy. It's about
Mm.
mental health and it's about true appreciation for yourself, the healthy version. And I think that's where it's like you could get kind of caught up in like some weird nuances about like, oh, like I'm proud of where I am. Like, well, I don't know, a heroin addict being really proud about being a heroin addict. That's not what I mean. I mean a person who is proud of their genetics and do what they can to be healthy. And interestingly enough, like don't do the things that make them unhealthy, but to love their own genetics and to be proud of that, and to understand that health, especially as we get older, does require some, I don't know if I want to call it sacrifices, but you can't get away with the same shit that you were able to get away with when you were, in your teens and in your 20s, when your hair was a lot more resilient, your body was a lot more resilient. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
like people who are flexing incredible curls that doesn't require a lot of work to have them appear that way. That's a huge flex. It's kind of like looking incredibly physically because you're natural, you eat really, really clean, and it's something that you genuinely care about. So, long-winded answer of saying, I hope it's just like a an appreciation for one's truest, authentic, healthy self.
Mm. Ah, I think we can all get around that. Curl vision is sounding, I mean, as you're saying, it's simplistic, but it's inclusive, which I think not in the buzzword sense
Sure.
of that, but real inclusivity. Something that I want to touch on is you'd mentioned dry cutting, and obviously
Yeah.
people who are familiar with you and your work know that you swear by it. Why though? If you could just
Yeah.
like people that are not aware and
I
how,
love that.
but why? Why is it important to you?
Well, it's important to me for a number of reasons, but you got to understand what dry cutting is and what it isn't to really be able to wrap around that word. Because if I say, oh, I dry cut, okay, so you don't wet it. There is so much more going
Hmm.
on than just
Hmm.
not wetting it. Because if you make all the same moves that you would when it was wet, you're dry cutting wrong. You might as well wet it down because your job's going to be 1,000 times easier. So it's about how you approach the hair, how you handle the hair, how you move the hair, how you pull the hair, how you don't pull the hair, how you,
Hmm.
shake it out, how you position the head. This is all coming into dry cutting. So if you think that cutting dry is just cutting hair without water, you got it all wrong. So when it comes to like the argument, like, oh, like I can do it with wet too. Congratulations. Like you can probably drive down a straight road with your eyes closed.
Great job.
Like that's awesome that you can do that. But if there's all of a sudden a weird thing that runs out in front of you, or you got a turn that you have to make that was unexpected, now what? Your eyes are
Mhm.
closed. You couldn't see it. And what I have seen over the 20 years that I've been playing with curly hair is that nothing will humble you faster than curly hair. The second you think you've got it all figured out, that is when you realize, it's such a high skill cap, and I still have a million miles to go, which I love that about it. So for me, when you have somebody come in and show their true state currently, and there's a couple different ways you can do that, but it's going to be dry. Nobody's
Mhm.
walking around with their hair sopping wet.
Mhm.
So if you're able to see this curl does that and this one does this and this one's straight, it's if you wet it all down, it all looks a lot more similar. You're not going to know or understand or get to know those people's like very interesting parts and pieces and curls and lack thereof in throughout their head of hair. So for me, I like to drive with both eyes open.
Beautifully put. I mean, we talked about this. I've got curly hair. I've been in many a barber chair or style, where they just keep spraying, and then you see things, and then when it's dried, it's like a very different beast. Nobody likes that. I'm curious. I mean, again, I've seen the videos. People that are familiar with you know what that's like. But from your end, I mean, as the person that's doing these cuts, what has it been like to work with, clients that have not had a dry cut, that are not familiar with your work, that experience it for the first time? Because I mean, those reactions are incredible. They're beautiful, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's social media. So you're in the chair. Like, what is that like?
It's exactly what you see and then some because we
Mhm.
can't, it's so short form. We've been talking about doing more long form stuff so that you could actually, anybody who is interested, would be able to see that. But it's so much fun. That's the best part. I think being a hairstylist in general is an extremely rewarding job, like what we're trying to do. But to the people who have yet to really truly help a curly haired person who's been fighting their hair their entire life, have been traumatized by stylists, by salons, by society, and all of a sudden you're able to deliver real solutions that they're able to see right then and there in one appointment. And I always tell everyone, like, this is a journey. Like, we're going
Yeah.
to do the best that we can. This is my first time with you. This is our first day together. Let's see what that looks like. And I'm sure it'll be okay, but it'll be nothing in comparison to where we're going to get you. And when they see just what is possible that quickly, there's, I, there's not a lot that's more rewarding than that. I mean, unless you're a doctor saving lives,
Yeah.
it's it is a very, very slippery slope in the best way. It's all you're going to want to do.
Mm. Um, I mean, I just getting a sense of your reaction to what this is like. I mean, the transformations are powerful. They're really moving. Obviously for the person that's had the cut, but for us as viewers and fans of the work, I mean, you really see like that freeing up of so much of what you've described in, you know, the span of a couple of videos of the consult to the final thing, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I'm curious, like, how do you communicate with clients around keeping up these styles after the fact? Because that's maybe not like the sexiest part of, but it's important. I mean, as you
Oh,
said, like
critical.
we walk around, our hair is generally dry. It's not sopping wet, to control it to do these things. So, I mean, what are those kinds of conversations? I mean, I know you're not
Yeah,
pushing product. So yeah, what does that look like?
it's a great question. I think what we're kind of like, it's just, I mean, all of us as humans, like kind of what we're constantly combating and appreciating at the same time is like this view of something that's so perfect, right? And I think that that is the disappointing part of the beauty industry that has gotten into the curly hair community
Mm,
early on. I noticed curly hair was very celebrated for exactly what it is, and then enter the beauty industry that sees the market, and all of a sudden, like, you start to see that like push for perfection.
hmm
And what I try to show my clients out the gate is like, look, I would much rather give you a great haircut and have you style it and your hair look great than it look perfect, because they're two very different things. And great is always going to be better than perfect. Because for one, if you're shooting for perfection, it better actually come out perfect. And I do know of a couple stylists who can hit it every time. And that is something that I will always appreciate, is like the most underwhelming word for that. Like, they are legends in
mm,
my mind. The fact that they can deliver that every time. But what's really interesting is that's what they're doing. What I'm doing is completely different. I mean,
yeah.
not just like visibly so. If you go to any one of their clients that they are performing this perfection on, and you go take a look at their Instagram, there's only one picture, only one spot where you're going to see their hair look like that. And it is when that stylist did it.
Yeah.
I have no interest in being that for my client. I
Mhm.
like it when my clients get to the point of they know how to style their hair better than we do.
Mm.
I like it when my client's hair gets so healthy that they don't even have to bother with product if they don't want to. And they're flexing like, this is my hair with no product. All I did was either nothing, or I just put a little sweet spirit leave in, or I used all the products or whatever. And it's great. But no matter what they do, it's awesome. And you go to their Instagram and you look at their hair since we started working together, and it's like, dang, their hair looks just as good, maybe different, but just as good. It's not like, oh, there's this one moment that they get, because that's what I don't like. I don't like the idea of somebody coming into the salon going, oh, cool, I was at the salon, I'm gonna like, it's like, that's no, I need all of your days in between visits to
Mm.
be what the beauty industry and what the salon industry has kind of like, I think, kept to themselves.
It's refreshing to hear you say it, because I mean, I think so much of what we're doing in this industry is a lot of that work of you get the picture and it lives and dies there, and you sort of move on to the next. And I mean, you hope the client looks good, but they come back and then you style them again. And it's a sort of interesting take to hear you talk about it in this way. And welcome. I mean, I feel like we all want to look our best all the time versus like
Yeah.
the one time
It's
immediately
just, what does
after.
that mean? Like, what
Yeah.
does looking my best mean? Like, do I
Yeah.
have to jump through all these hoops to look my best? You do not. You
Mm.
don't. You just need to figure out what healthy actually is, and then figure out like what cut, length, shape like works best for you. And that's what's really fun, is once you get to that point, that's ever evolving.
Mm.
Yeah, my girlfriend always likes to say, cut it to grow it to cut it. And
Yep.
that's what we started seeing. Like, some people are so attached to their length before they really understand their hair. And they're like, please don't take my length. And we can respect that. I'm like, great. So we're going to take the scenic route. Because now
Hmm.
you're coming in here. I've got to keep all the stuff that you want to
Yep.
leave.
Yep.
That means I'm not able to solve a lot of the problems that you want solved. And they're like, okay, I appreciate that. I understand it. I still want to keep the length.
Yep.
Great. But after a couple of appointments and they start to see the difference between hair that's coming in and hair that has less damage on their butt, they're like, cut it off. And
Yep.
then
There's
once we
openness.
get to do that, they're able to see shape. They're able to see, some people get to see more volume, and they're way more interested in, like, oh my God, I never want to lose this. And so now they're like, I don't give a crap about my length. Like, do whatever you
That's
need to do to keep the shape up or this up or whatever, this or that. And then they've rocked that for a little bit. Then they're kind of like, I want to grow it out. And I'm like, cool, let's start growing it out. So it's like, then it's like this really enjoyable experience coming to get your haircut, rather than like, oh, I hope this goes okay. And, they're no longer bringing in some inspiration picture that has nothing to do with them. They are their own inspiration. They know what their hair is healthy, how it functions, how easy it is, and, or at least relatively speaking, because I always say with great curl comes great responsibility. That is not lost on me. When you've got a full head of hair, you know, 1,000,000 pounds thick, all the coil recoil in the world, yeah, it's a big deal. And it's like, I'm not saying like, oh, that's easy for no, but with great curl comes great responsibility. But when it's healthy, it is going to be 1,000 times easier to work with than something that isn't. If you have a decent haircut, it's easier to work with than somebody that went through that with like thinning shoes or something.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your POV the industry and increasingly like the hyper fixation on regimen and steps,
Mm,
particularly specific to curly hair and curly hair that has any texture, honestly. There's so many, there's a product for this, and then you do this, and then you layer with that. And how do you feel about that? And how do you sort of work against it with clients? I mean, maybe some of them are into it and that is how they feel their best, but some of them feel like they can't imagine a world in which they're not doing those things. So I'm curious, like, what do these conversations look like? Because there's now, as you said, like a overcorrection. There's so much pressure to like, we'll just buy this and this and this and this and use that and it'll be great.
I think so. There's so many, and I apologize if some of these are really long winded, because there's just so many different
That's what we're
angles you
here
can
for.
come at
No, no,
that.
no.
Cool. Um, I would say I haven't done my job good enough if they do not feel beautiful in their natural healthy state without all that product.
Hmm.
That's one.
Okay.
Two, if you are super healthy, you love your natural texture as it is, you don't feel that, oh, I should have this or whatever, blah, blah, and it's like you see it for what it is, but you enjoy ramping it up and pumping it up and doing all this stuff. And I want it to last for 7 days because I don't want to deal with it. And I want my roots to stay up because I have a little bit of a softer root. And so I don't get the volume that I wish. Now you're having fun with it. And now it's about like, great, let's have fun with that. But let's make sure that we're doing it with things that aren't going to ruin you long term, things that aren't going to diminish your hair's health long term. So that now it really, really matters what it is that you're putting into your hair. I don't care if you want to use 10 products to play with that. Make sure they're all clean. You can do that. Have fun with it. That's where it gets like really fun, where you're like, I can be the person that puts nothing in their hair and I feel great. I could go to lunch, it looks good. And then I'm going out for my birthday and I know how to make that shit pop.
Hmm.
So it's like, I love it when they got that range, but that's going to start with the health and the appreciation for, I mean, literally who they are and what they have, like at the root.
Hmm.
Again.
Beautiful. No, no, perfect. That's the way it is. It all comes down to it. Talk to me about the new space. I mean, we'll get into some other stuff, but I mean, this
Yeah.
is really like taking your concepts, for lack of better phrasing, and running with it. So there are some points of differentiation that are big, and I think like sort of
Yeah.
anachronistic to like what a salon is. Like, there's no sinks. You're not using hot tools. You're not merchandising the hell out of product. I mean, we've talked about this. Like, it's not about pushing the product. It's about the hair. So talk to me about these things that you know, really worked into the like DNA of this space.
Yeah. So it is born out of pure frustration
Okay. As some
for
of the best things are. Okay.
right. I mean, for the curly community, we are slammed in the best way. Um, and I started to kind of listen, demand and time and energy, all that like literally causes cost to rise. When you're spending 2 to 3 hours with a person, that winds up getting expensive. I started to see that there was more and more content out there on like how to style your hair, on what to use and stuff like that. Great. So now we're solving for at home on some level to where, yeah, you might have a mm, faster pace around education if you do get in with somebody that knows how to use it and can show you on you for your specific hair.
Mhm.
But I still felt like the biggest need and the biggest gap was that people couldn't get a decent cut. That I can't do through this. I can't do that through screen. Um, a lot of people were resorting to cutting their own hair. A lot of people are resorting to not cutting their hair at all. And I was like, okay, if I could bring one thing to people, what am I going to bring? I'm going to bring that cut.
Mhm.
So Curly Hair Salon is exactly that. It is a stripped down version of what therapy is, but super clear in exactly what it is. It is a spot where a curly girl, curly guy can go and not get their hair messed up. And you know
Mhm.
it. And because I was able to pull out the things that are super time consuming, I was able to bring that cost way down. And then the question is, oh, how do they know it's going to be good?
Mhm.
And why can't this model just be easily copied? And that is the big offering, the giant sacrifice from our part. We've spent years developing our education system for
Mhm.
the stylists that work at Curly Hair Salon. They go through more training than anybody else on the planet for curly hair cutting. There is no comparison. There's nothing remotely close to it. If you went to school all 1600 hours with our training program, you are getting way more than anything you would have got, even if they implement it, which I know a lot of states are working on, which whole other conversation we could have on that.
Mhm.
Even
Mhm.
if that was implemented, it will
There's
not
still more.
touch
Yep.
what we are pumping into these stylists that you'll meet when you come into Curly Hair Salon and they deliver this to you. It is a very minimal menu. This isn't like, oh, cool, I'll have a pixie, I'll have a shag, I want a buzz on one side. There's a lot that we don't do, and I really wanted to make sure that we covered that on our website, on our confirmation emails, on our texts. I even put out a video. There's a giant list of it's first what we do, and it is a
Mhm.
very very short list, and then there's what we don't do. I just feel like all those things. There's a lot of other spots that can cater to that. What we didn't have was I just need a cut. I don't need it to take 2 hours. I don't need it styled. I just need a trim.
Mm.
And it is amazing to me that a trim is the hardest thing for a curly girl to actually get, because what happens? They get cut too short.
Yep.
People wind up
Yep.
overdoing it, and it's like, okay, we have to fix that. And what I wasn't seeing was anybody else fixing it. Yeah, if you come into therapy and like you want to trim, we're going to give that to you. But at that price point, you're probably going to also want this, that, and the other thing. And so there goes
Mhm.
your whole day, and
Yep.
you gotta work around that. And we just wanted to be able to bring this thing that couldn't be gotten elsewhere. So, I mean, from our list of services, we call it literally just a trim. The other one is just bangs and face framing, because let's say you absolutely love your hair and it's like, my bangs grew out. Well, we can spend time on doing your bangs and face framing. We can spend the whole time on that, because that's probably the money piece, right?
Mhm.
There is probably one of our most popular services is shape up. That's where I love my hair, but I just grew out. I don't want to lose any length. I just I need that shape back. And then the other one is a fun one, is the big chop. So that's where it's like, all right, cool. Now we know we're losing a lot of length. We have
Uh-huh.
a lot of safeguards around where we are, in fact, cutting that. We determine that together with the client, boom, and then we pump that shape into there. And every single one of those services are $75 across the board. 75 bucks,
Wow.
75 bucks, 70 bucks, 75 bucks.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. That's wow. Not not what you hear of.
Right.
It's quite, I mean, as you described it, I mean, like it is because of all of the investment that you guys have made for so many years that you're able to do this. It's just, it's exciting that it's available at all. Because
Yeah.
again, we've seen the horror stories, and you're solving
I
for it.
know.
So
Right.
yeah,
That's the idea.
tell me,
I mean, if I can't rant for a second, the problem is
well,
I'm not seeing. I kept waiting for the wave
I was gonna
to
say,
happen.
yep. All right.
I kept waiting. I was kind of like, when?
Well, surely,
Yeah,
surely.
this is gonna become completely normal. This won't even. It'll be like, remember, once upon a time there were curl specialists. Like now everybody can do it. It's not even a thing. Never happened. I'd be like, oh, maybe we got 5 years. 5 years went came and gone. It's came and gone 4 times now. And
So,
I'm like, okay. So
hmm,
what I did was I was like, I'm going to be the wave. I'm going to the blue wave. So we'll get into curl maps if you want to and that whole thing. But I really was trying to figure out where is the biggest lack, where are people left stranded, and so curl maps is a really great insight into finding like where people can't even get an
plug it.
answer.
What is curl maps for people that let's just pause there for a sec. People that are
Yeah,
not
sure.
familiar, where can they go? What is it that all of those bits?
It is the number one used stylist finder. So there are other stylist finders out
Hmm.
there, but they are all technique based, right? So it's like, oh, I went and I took a Diva Curl class.
Hmm.
I went and I took that class.
Yep.
You
They're
get you
certified in
get
this.
right, cool.
Yep.
You get listed on their stylist finder. Cool. The problem is there isn't a lot of tangible items for somebody with curly hair, and it's like, oh, awesome, so and so is on this person's stylist finder. Do you want to go to the person that has touched curly hair, doll head, one time
Right.
at one class?
Yep.
That's not
I
an
wouldn't.
answer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
Yep.
either.
Yep.
I mean, unless it was honest, saying like, "Hey, this is the only thing I've ever done. I am interested in it. I've
Imagine
only
that.
taken that one class. Right. Here's the
Yep.
only picture I have. It's of a doll head. I'm
Yep.
looking forward to working with you. I
Okay.
hope you're looking forward to working with me. I'm going to learn." And
Yeah.
honestly, that honesty would get you more clients.
That's true. You're
It'll
right.
get you it'll get you a lot less 1-star reviews
Hmm.
because now you're shot. Now you cannot ever develop a clientele because you clearly weren't honest about that. Curl Maps is the exact opposite. You can list every class that you've ever taken for sure, but the other thing that you have to list is your Yelp, your Facebook, your Google page, your website, your Instagram, your TikTok. All that stuff is right there. So if you say, hey, cool, I'm so and so in this area of Los Angeles, I do curly hair, here's all the stuff to prove it. So now vetting is very, very simple. And this is working out for brand new stylists because if they're familiar with my stuff, honesty and integrity at the top of our
Hmm.
list. So they're like saying, hey, I'm new, but I'm super interested in curly hair. And this is what I've done so far. Looking forward to working with you. They have a lot going for them because now they're being honest. And so now the person that books, they understand that they're new. So, okay, cool. We should probably learn each other's language and move
Hmm.
into whatever we're going to do slowly. Whereas on the flip side is people that put up, I mean, I'm an example of it, that like, hey, I'm a curl special. We're booked out for forever. And so you
Yeah.
can't even get in with us unless you get in off of a waiting list. And most of these really, really hot, so I'm not guilty of. A lot of these hot curl specialists that are out there, you'll see at the top of their bio, not accepting new clients.
Yep.
I
Yep.
would never say that. I'm always taking new clients. People flake on me all the time for legitimate reasons. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They fall out.
Life.
And so I have a wait
Yep.
list, right? And it happens and no judgment. But if I didn't have that wait list or if I didn't have like, I'm always accepting new clients, I wouldn't have the opportunity to meet new people, which I love, and then two, just from a financial aspect of just plugging that hole. But that's what Curl Maps is. It is extremely powerful. Anybody who's on it is not only getting more clients, but because it's hit so much and it's served up as a solution so often, your SEO is getting improved all the while because it's like, oh, people are finding this, but then they're coming over here. So it's really beneficial to people's SEO, which I didn't really know that going into it. And I was like, oh,
But
shoot, this is really, really cool that this works that way. So for the cost of one of your tips for a month, it puts you on this site and it lets you be honest with the community that are seeking answers. And curly hair people that don't have a solution are very, very patient. They're incredible people. And if they know that you're coming into this saying, hey, I want to get to know you and your curly hair. I don't right now, but I've taken this class and here's what I'm working on.
mhm.
Here's some pictures. But I want to get to know you. Let's do that. they are going to build a clientele that will never leave them because no one else is ever going to get to know them on that level. So I'm loving it for all of these reasons.
Uh,
we did just finish up our international version of it literally yesterday. So I'm about
okay.
to see, you'll hear me more on my social media harping on it. So now if you're in Italy, you can have an account there. If you're in Saudi Arabia, you can open an account. And I've never been able to do that before. It was
Wow.
really fun to figure out how to do that. I mean, Curl Maps has been a labor of love, work in progress for about 4 years now. I think this is our like fourth rendition of it, and it just keeps getting better.
Wow. Wow. Congrats. That's a big
Thanks.
deal and so important. I mean, again, the thing that I think that you're really tapping into is that the community that has curly hair, any sort of texture, is so much bigger than the beauty industry allows for. And you
Yeah.
are able to reach them and serve them by doing these things, and contribute to that wave. So, I mean, I'm glad that you said what you said, about like every couple of
Thank you
years,
for the
like, oh,
platform to say it
surely
on.
it's gonna be better. It's gonna people, and then it doesn't, and it sort
Right.
of stalls out. This work, really prevents that from fully stalling out. So, testament to you guys. Talk to me a little bit about, I mean, you've built up this audience, which is tremendous. So, millions of followers, doesn't happen by accident. You talked a lot about honesty and integrity. These are sort of less and less common, I think, in influencing, in the industry. Certainly, there's challenges around both of these things
For
at the
sure.
moment. In particular, I'm curious, like, how do you stay true to yourself and to your audience? What is this like for you as you like are building out the business, the content, the education, just like as a person? How are you managing these things?
How am I managing these things? I
It's
have
so
no
fraught. I mean,
idea.
like, let's be
No,
real. Like,
I'm
it's
teasing.
such a.
No, I have built up an incredible team
Mm,
over the course of I want to do this. How do I get that done? Obviously, I
mhm,
started on my own, and I will find a person that is like an excellent fit for that. And most of it has all been internal.
mm,
I have family member that I work with, my fiance, girlfriend, business partner that I work with. I have my social media manager that I work with. I have my very first assistant ever. She has full clientele now, but me and her still collaborate together. You see her on probably 95% of all of our posts. She's styling up a lot of the hair, but my other assistants are so good at styling hair too. You see them as well. So it's all very symbiotic. I think that's the right word. Curl Vision, as far as an Instagram and a TikTok, what's the number one DM? Do you know of anybody near me? So what I did was I made an autoresponder that was like, if you're trying to find
mm,
someone in your area, check this website out, and it's Curl Maps. So what that's doing is that is shooting somebody who isn't anywhere around me over to somebody else that they are around so that they could go find their Instagram, they could go check them out. So it builds
mhm,
everything. So that really kind of put me in touch with like a larger curly hair specialist base, at least
mhm.
across the US. And I'm super excited about international now, just to be for me to be able to push clients that can't get to us, and would rather have somebody local to that. So there's that. So that started to kind of, once you got it built, that thing kind of manages itself. And then I'm always thinking like,
Mhm.
oh, I wish it would do this, I wish it would do that. And then our subscribers that are on there, the stylists that subscribe to be listed, they're always like, hey, like, what about this? Or like, hey, I'm running into this. And we just get it fixed to, I take that to our engineer and he knocks it out. When it comes to therapy, I've got, my whole team, they're very independent, but also super inclusive. We all work really, really well together. With Curly Hair Salon, again, internal, got with one of my stylists to help develop the education aspect that goes into training these very, very special stylists that
Mhm.
are there. And then I've brought in some extremely heavy hitters from the corporate world. My CMO, my COO, they, they come from a world I could never even imagine. And I'm very, very fortunate to have met them in the first place because I did know them before this was a thing. And then as this became more and more of a thing and multifaceted, they kind of saw what I was doing and we started having conversations and we were kind of like, let's build this thing. So it all kind of works together. It's not like Curl Maps isn't over here and Curly Hair Salon is
Mhm.
over here. Curl Maps pushes people right over to Fullerton Curly Hair Salon that can't find an answer over there. We just signed our lease for San Diego, so that's
Wow.
coming. We're opening that up, and we should be opening up in another one, ideally out of state this year as well. So how do I manage that with an excellent team, with a lot of sleepless nights,
Hmm.
that are very, very enjoyable, uh, and a whiteboard that is constantly getting marked up.
I can only imagine. But appreciate the honesty. I mean, like, this is not for the weak of heart. It
No,
requires, as you said, collaboration, teamwork, and I feel like
yes,
people are not necessarily open or honest about that all the time. So appreciate that. Uh,
yeah,
Talk to me about, I mean, I would say that curly hair specialization is very much needed right now. It's the present. There is a obvious need. We've talked about the wave that almost crests, but then never really does. Um,
right.
there's so much conversation around, well, it's the future. Um, what's your POV for this industry? I mean, obviously, you're doing what you can to really get people to niche down to the extent that they want to. Um, are you confident, or how are you feeling about other actors beyond yourself? I mean, is that something you worry about? Are you only worrying about what you can control? I'm curious about sort of your POV on the landscape, as
Are
it were.
you kind of talking about potential competition?
Sure, sure. Other actors that
I
are, but
welcome it.
the industry largely is maybe not up to snuff. So I'm curious, like your
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah, it's we need more. I mean, geez, there are more and more coming up every day. It's really fun to see that. I love it when I'm cruising through my feed and I've never seen this person before. I'm like, oh, awesome, we got another one
Good,
on
good.
our team. You know that we're,
Hmm.
I feel like it's so exciting to be in a niche that we literally can't compete with each other. There are so many people that need help. We one I mean, 1,000 can't see them all. We
Yeah.
need so many more. So that I'm not worried about in the slightest. What I do hope is that they take the most important parts and carry that forward to where it's
Mm.
not always this big product push to where it's like, oh, this giant brand says this giant brand says this giant brand said to use this, and this is how you use it. I hope that they have the wherewithal and the integrity to be like, if you eat really clean, what did Steve Jobs say? Make food your medicine so you don't have to
Mm.
make medicine your food later. I
Mm.
loved that because that just goes right into it. Your hair isn't going to look great because of the product that you use. It's going to look great because you figured out what truly healthy actually is. And should you get there, this shouldn't be that complicated. And so I
Mm.
think if this is growing, I hope it's growing that way and not turning into another version of what the salon industry, the beauty industry already was. So that's what I hope gets taken from. I mean, that's what I took from some of
Yeah.
the vets that came before me.
Mm.
Some incredible stylists that, I see that was kind of like that was like part of the thing that I wanted to expand on. Um,
Mm.
and I love the fact that there are in fact brands that are like, presenting solutions and stuff for sure, but I feel like we've very much gotten away. It's the roles have been reversed. It can't be, you know, uh, this brand doesn't have this client in front of them, hearing their genuine struggles and like touching their hair and seeing what's happened before. Like we are that we need to be like the connect there. And I feel like
Mm.
because the big budget is there with these gigantic brands, these giant corporations, which seems to be the way of the world, we need to help this. I don't mean this to sound any type of way, but we need to help train our clients
Mm.
to understand their own hair, not from the lens of a giant conglomerate. That's the problem.
Well put. And maybe you wouldn't build on that at all. I'm curious. I want to make sure that I ask this question. If every individual with curly hair could hear one thing from you today, I mean, and you've said so many different beautiful and powerful things, but what would it be? What do you hope they walk away with?
It's probably a paragraph. It would be something along the lines of your hair you may have not have met it yet in its actual healthiest form. You may have never had a decent enough haircut along with that to really know what your hair is capable of. And for that, I'm sorry, I'm working on it. But your hair is perfect exactly as it grows out of your head. It's most likely something that we're using, something that we're doing, particular practice in our life or whatever that is messing it up. And if you can digest that and then start to do the homework on like, well, what's, maybe flat ironing isn't healthy. Maybe having something in a stretched protective style for 3 months might be causing an effect on my curl pattern. And what I would say to anybody there is that, like, well, I love my hair braids. Awesome. I do too. I think it's great. But that's similar to like, especially if it's long term. If it's short term, that's different. You get away with a lot. There's a ton of resilient hair out there, and I mean, God, I could go on and on. Just that your curls are probably perfect, and if they're not, it's probably something that we're doing rather than something that we're not doing. Focus on the health and get a halfway decent cut. I think mind will be blown.
Boom.
On
Boom.
what you're walking around with.
That's perfect. Perfect. Dusty, we're going to do our quick takes and then we're going to let you get back to it. These are the questions we ask of all of our guests. Don't think about it for too long. First question. If you could master one skill instantly, what would it be? Does not have to be specific to hair, to be clear.
Sailing. I would know how to yacht. I would know how to sail. I would know all things ocean.
Okay.
That would be incredible.
That's a first time answer. We get all sorts of things that I haven't heard that one yet. So
Nice.
We love that. That's why we ask them. What is your current go-to song or album?
Ooh. Probably the most listened to on my Spotify is going to be The Boat I Row, Tame Impala.
Okay, I see it. And if you're not listening, guys, get into that. What haircut or color trend? Sorry, I'm going to do it anyway. We ask it of everybody.
You got to do it.
What haircut or color trend are you secretly obsessed with right now?
I am loving this this like high amount of layers and like literally speaking like high up layering, really exaggerating like what cut can amplify what it is that I have and how do I show that off the most, whatever that looks like. There are a lot of different ways, but that's my answer, I suppose.
That's great. That's if you're gonna flip a trend, that makes perfect sense. I love that. That's Dusty. If you could do a dream celebrity client's hair for a day, who would it be and what would you do?
Zendaya, hands down.
Okay.
She has awesome curly hair, and I don't get to see it showcased that much. I think she recently just went super short, which is really, really cool, but it's still like super styled out. You know what I mean? It's not like her hair. And that's an interesting conversation getting into A-listers and making movies and stuff like that. Curly hair is represented so poorly. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
They use curly hair to develop a character that is like this rather than like this. And it's funny to me that they're like the last ones. Curly hair is so freaking awesome. And it's unfortunately, it's going to be an A-lister that made famous by. And I hate that. We're all down here, loving on curly hair long before you guys have showcased it on your silver screens. So, but I know Zendaya's dope. Like I know she loves her hair. I've watched lots of YouTube videos of her about her curly hair. Like she's so cool. So it'd just be so fun to have a conversation with her about curls and about how she sees it. Cause I think she sees it so simply and so honestly. And I like how I've heard her talk about it before. So it'd just be fun to do that with her.
I'd love to see what you guys wind up cooking up. All right, last question. We'll let you go. A tiny thing that made you smile this week.
Oh, my dog, always Alfie.
Perfect. That's what we want. Dusty, it's been a pleasure to get to know you. I feel like we all sort of know you in a parasocial way, but this was a delight to really get into some stuff. And I appreciate your honesty, your candor. Not everybody is willing to share. So, I mean, it makes it so much easier. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Jeff, that was fantastic. I love this passion obviously for curls.
It was such a treat because like you feel like there's like a parasocial relationship. And he delivers. He's just as good as he is for his audience as he is in an interview. He's the same
Yeah,
person. So that's generally a win. But I feel like I learned so much. And as I said, like we're gonna try to set something up for our team and see even more of Dusty.
love it. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.